Hello, friends. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Welcome to the live stream. If you're brand new, welcome. My name is Carrie, and I am excited to be doing readings today and connecting with many of you. And this is a real live stream with real people and real readers. And I am literally putting on my socks because I realized my feet are cold. So welcome in, everybody. I'm really excited to get the live stream going. We are going to be doing some wonderful readings today. I am, this is a newer routine for me. I started my YouTube channel 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago, really making a concerted effort to be dedicated, to show up, hello, Christine. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Just getting started, perfect timing. I was just making an announcement, but I was saying it is still really, new for me to be on YouTube and to be live streaming. But hi, Christy, I have your tarot deck waiting to be shipped. So it's still relatively new for me to be live streaming every Friday, but I absolutely look forward to it every week. I love the chance to be able to meet many of you. That's much more my style. And to be able to really share messages, information, healing, and hopefully provide guidance, insight that really betters your week and also your life. And honestly, if you do have any questions about the readings themselves, or if you were interested in booking a private reading, all that information is going to be available to you all in the links on my page. This will also be recorded per usual, and we will be having it then probably it'll be up and running and posted probably by the end of this evening. So lots of just really fantastic things going on here on the channel. So this is really the format that I think everyone's really enjoying. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller so you can see this. So my idea with connecting with all of you as the subscribers of my channel is to really find out what type of readings that I offer that you enjoy seeing every week and on the channel in general. And what it's really proving to be is what I was hoping for are these more in-depth readings, which are understanding you as a soul, understanding how to live a life that's in alignment, how to connect with your spirit guides, your ancestors, how to connect with your intuition. Oh, absolutely. I know I did. I got that. Thank you so much, Christy. Christy's mentioning. I'll talk about that in a sec, Christy, if I can share your story. I think that is such a great story. And because my idea is I want you to have a place you can come to regularly where it can encourage you and your spiritual growth and development, and that you just have this soft, sweet place on the internet that you can grow and develop and have fellowship and friendship and community. Now, a couple things if you're new to the channel. So just a little bit of an update. Every Friday, I come on live at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll raise this up in a second. And we do readings. I'm usually on here about 90 minutes. And so this is proving to be the popular type of reading that everybody likes. So I'm a channel and a medium, and I channel, of course, your loved ones. I am a medium, and I also channel goddesses and spirit guides and also higher self, things of that nature. So what we're going to be doing first, after we do a little cleansing of the space, I'm going to be channeling one of the goddesses. Now, typically, I work with a group of goddesses. I call them the Rose Council, and I'll explain more about that as we go. And so usually we see either Hecate or Freya, or we sometimes see Isis, and it just depends. It changes throughout each week. Last week, I realized that we had a very interesting goddess that showed up. We thought that was really interesting that Christine had that connection with that African, either ancestor or goddess. And also, though, we had Mother Mary come through. Now, truthfully, I'm a pagan, so I don't, I am no longer a Christian, although I really connect with Mother Mary as a divine source, a divine mother figure, and also part of the divine feminine. But what I realized, and it just did not occur to me, is that last week was Easter. And I just thought she showed up on a Friday. I thought, well, there you go. She's here. So I do kind of love that she made a dear and sweet appearance. So as I was mentioning, what we're going to start with first is we are going to start first with a channeled message from one of the goddesses. So I always have, like, I usually put Hecate's picture up. I'll show you guys behind me. And then I have, this is the goddess who is the goddess for the week, as we can say, and who we had last week. This is why I'm using this camera today, because it's just a little bit clearer. Mother Mary was here last week. And so now we're going to put her back into the box, and we are going to see who else comes forth. Now, honestly, I might not have one of the goddess that comes through, because I'm doing it from a mediumship perspective. So I'm opening up my energy field. I'm seeing who comes in. And so it's not always in the cards that I have. I have several goddess decks, but I do want to see who comes through. And we're just going to bring through messages. Now, I have to really tell you something. After this portion of things, I really have to bring through a message from Hecate, because she came in so strongly for us last night for me. And I'm going to bring you the message she gave me last night, which was pretty powerful. So let's just get into communion with each other. We're going to just take a moment, take a deep breath. We're going to call on spirit to come in. I am going to just light a little bit of incense just to get the energy moving and started, just to get in resonance. I'm actually going to get my cauldron. I think that's a little bit better, because it's just a little larger for burning, and the other one's been proving to be a little bit messier. So I'm so glad you're all here. So let's just take a moment and take a deep breath, connect together. And what I like to say is, whoever is meant to come forth for the highest good for this collective, that they come forth, and they are welcome and open to share their messages of healing, of insight, of support, and of guidance and love. So let's just get that energy going. I'm also letting people know right now, I am going to be teaching a 12-week psychic, or it's an intuitive development class that is also where you're learning tarot. So you're going to be learning intuitive tarot and also developing your abilities. There's a lot of information. I'm happy to talk to you all about it later, but it's going to be a fantastic class. Starts May 22nd for 12 weeks. More to come about that. I'm just clearing the energy for us, just calming things down. Things have been very intense. And you can all show me, maybe in the chat, about how your dreams have been. If you've noticed, if you've woken up in the middle of the night more than normal. Yes. Hi, Jennifer. Good to see you. Welcome in. We're just getting started. We haven't started the readings yet. You're just on time. Welcome in, everybody. I'm also going to see if I can put this other light on. So you guys just keep calling in your loved ones. And I'm going to just turn one more light source on if I can, because it gets a little dark in here. And we need as much help as we can. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So I have really noticed, I have noticed energetically that there's just so much going on right now in the collective and in general, and it's requiring a lot of us to meditate more, to ground more. I asked for one of my guides to reveal them to me, their name, and a couple of nights ago, and the name Freya. Yes, I have very little knowledge. Well, stick around, because Freya shows up here a lot, and she is one of the goddesses that I work with. So I'm happy to share anything I have and also get you kind of started on researching her. She's a wonderful goddess. She really, really is. So stay tuned. Hello, Elizabeth. Yes to the intense dreams. My goodness, I know. They have been very intense. I will talk to you guys about that in a second. And the one of the things I want to make sure everybody is doing is make sure that before you go to bed at night that you really set the intention that you want to be grounded, you want to have protection up, right? And you want to be able, if just kind of cast your own net of safety around your energy field. So I'm going to read some of your comments. So it's been a difficult week, a lot of extreme anxiety for me, and let go of some things that were no longer needed in my life. Amazing. We are definitely on an accelerated timeline. We really are. And yes, in intense dreams, absolutely. And big dreams. I get it. Believe me, I think it's happening. And that's why it's good. Again, we're all coming together so we can support each other through these times and transitions, talk about things that are going on in the collective, and in general, just come together and ground and center ourselves. Okay, I'm going to tune in, friends. Again, we're starting off with what goddess is coming through, what's the message, what's the divine, what do we need to know. I'm excited. We also notably have Beltane coming up next week, so that's something to think about. So we're definitely changing seasons. We're into Taurus now, so change. Okay, let me tune in here to see who's coming forward. Okay. So we do have one of the Kemetic goddesses. This is the Egyptian goddess. She's coming forth. Her name is Mot. So let me just get her card out. I think that's amazing. And I'll find her and then I'll tune in and get her message. Lovely. The Kemetic pantheon is totally open, by the way, to everyone. And I always say, if you can find whatever you can find of how different people venerate these goddesses, if they're in any way new to you, there's lots of really good places that have research and information about them, which is very helpful and insightful. All right, let me find her because I know she's in here. And then we'll bring her energy forth. She is Mott. She's all about truth. Thank you for being here, Mott. I like how we're getting sort of a variety of different pantheons here. So she is definitely a Kemetic goddess. I will show you the image of her, and what we'll do per usual, I'm going to bring you forth what's written here in this guidebook, and then I'm going to connect with her. Okay. So this is Mott. In this image, I think this depiction of her is just so beautiful. So I wish I could put it right. I should have a tiny stand next to me while I'm reading her. I'll try and hold it. So let me get to her page, okay? All right, friends. Let me just find her information, which is it's page 30, number 60. So I love the fact that she's right before Mother Mary in this book. Noting that. All right, let's read about her. Again, the goddess Mot. She is from the Kemetic, which is the Egyptian pantheon. Isn't she gorgeous? There's a great power in telling the truth and allowing it to lead you to higher ground. It's only when we refuse to see the reality of a situation that we lose our power to co-create for the highest good. The Egyptian goddess, Mot, comes to remind you that if you are willing to do a fearless self-inventory, that feels very, very relevant. I'll explain why soon, and live authentically with rigorous honesty, it will lead you to great success in all areas of your life. being completely transparent with others. Although it might at first feel too vulnerable, it is exactly what you need to do now. When you do this, you will be flooded with the power to claim and experience a new freedom and a new happiness that will pour over your life like a wild, sweet honey. This is going to tie in really well with our Akashic Records readings, my friends. I'll tell you why. Your life is exactly where it needs to be. This is a wonderful time of empowered choice making. You are doing all the right things if you follow the invitation of Mott to live fearlessly in truth. As the author of Balance and Divine Order, she reminds you of the great value of the way of being. Okay, so this is about karma. Okay, so let's get into it. This is going to be so perfect for going to the Akashic Records after this. I have so much to tell you guys. Okay, here we go. All right, the law of karma states that everything comes into balance sooner or later. So trust that in the greater story of your life, all wrong things will get righted. The goddess Mott appears with her scales of justice and feather of truth to remind you that you are seeing only one moment in time. The balance of events tips both ways until it comes into coherence with the harmony of the universe. Regardless of this natural rebalancing, it's time to speak up if you see injustice in your world. Mott says in order for you to be truly free, everyone must be free. She offers you the alignment task of considering where you may have hurt someone else and how your unconscious projection of how the world should be have set you up for a transgression, even if you were innocent. This is a time of great unraveling, and nothing meaningful will be accomplished without some effort. Take a breath, everybody. This is relevant for right now, how you feel. There's a big lot of energy coming through, so make sure you take nice, deep breaths. Explain more in a second. So just keep breathing because I just felt that wave hit my heart chakra. So everybody breathe. Okay. Another message for you now is to see behind the words of others, especially when you feel they may be withholding truth or acting without awareness. It's important not to enable this. Tell the truth with as much love as you can, even though denial may be swept away in an awkward moment and everyone feels exposed. It's an important way to move forward with compassion. The goddess Mott reminds us that she is a champion for those willing to course correct and gives you her full support. That's really special. And that actually fits in very well with going right into the Akashic Records. And I want to tell all of you some reflections I've been having this week. And for those of you who are newer to the Akashic Records, who may be watching this on the replay or haven't necessarily worked in the Akashic Records, I like to explain it every time because I like people to know in general what it means and why it can be very helpful to work in that space. So the Akashic Records are really the memory bank of your soul. Every lifetime, every thought, everything that's ever happened exists there. And it's really what is known as being in the fifth dimension. So when we were first conceived from the divine, and this is, remember, on a spirit level, there is no time or space. Everything after the fourth dimension, which is just above where we are, things with time time shifts completely. There is no such thing as time. So, but there is time here on this planet. And so when we incarnate, we do slip back into that framework and we forget a lot of who we are. But it's the way it should be when you're in the human form, especially through many lifetimes. Now it's different though. Things are starting to shift, which is why a lot of people are waking up, which is why a lot of people are looking for spiritual truth and having ascension, things of that nature. So the Akashic Records, we all do have the ability to connect with them. And the records are all around us. They're just a higher consciousness. So when you learn, this is why I teach it and why I do classes on it and why I have guides about it and why I have, do readings on it, is because I'm opening you up to that energy, which connects you with who you truly are, also known as your divine blueprint. So one of the things that's happening right now on the planet is everything is accelerating, and we're almost moving away from, doing things in that's why everybody's feeling, most people are getting much more in touch with their things like their intuition, spirit guides, their spiritual path. It's because we're waking up. And part of the reason is because it's just in the stars, right? We're destined to evolve as a species. So that's why right now a lot of people are wanting to connect with the records, and why we do these readings here on this channel and in the work I do, and why that's upgrading. But also we do carry trauma and we carry karmic patterns that keep us away from our divine selves. Okay. So my intention when we go into the Akashic Records is for all of us to be able to get as much clarity as possible, to be able to connect with our truth, to be able to, I would say, heal, and to be able to come into our more authentic selves. Okay, so here's what is going to happen. I was led to do 4 different Akashic Records messages today, and they all might apply to you, and maybe none of them will, or maybe just one of them will today. But these will be timeless readings. So whenever you see them is when they're meant to be. So the way I'm going to show you these is I'm going to pull out stones, and I'm going to have you choose which stone you feel drawn to. And everything, again, will be time stamped. So let's just stick together and I'll let you know. So they told me 4, and normally they say 3. So we'll see what we get. And I'm going to just connect and see which one is coming forth. So we're definitely getting the labradorite. I want that one. And the Adventurine. And then the golden healer. And then Cornelian. Okay, friends? So let me just put this on a little something, and then everybody can see. Just 1 second, please. Okay. All right, friends. So number 1 is going to be the Cornelian. You can just look at the stone, whichever one you're gravitating towards. I'll kind of show you guys against this little dark in here. That's the Cornelian. Put it down here. There we go. That's the Cornelian. Okay. Number 2, that's the golden healer. Right. The Adventurine. And the labradorite. All right. So whichever you choose, because like I said, you might come back and get this later. Now, a few things I want to mention as we're about to get started is that take this in. If it resonates for you, Cornelian matches your nails. Yeah. Yes, it does, doesn't it? I know. And I don't always have nails, but today was the day. So here's what we're going to do. I just want you to, this is going to be really connected also with healing energy. And I'll be talking more about that as time goes on. But one of the things I do in the Akashic Records is I work with the archangels, and we do energy clearing there. And so if you're interested in these kinds of sessions, please reach out to me. If you can email me or book it online. But I'm looking also for about 9 more clients, because I'm doing case studies on this new technique that I'm advancing in the Akashic Records. So normally those sessions are very involved, and they're over a few $100s. And now creating them for only 97. And they're going to be, it's going to be a report. There's going to be, it's a several hour kind of process for me to do it. And it's all about you clearing out energy and clearing out karma that's kept you blocked and stuck. So very interesting. Okay, so we're going to start with the Cornelian first. And again, these messages are meant to provide insight, guidance, healing, manifestation, whatever it is you want. So I'm just going to check in again. I'm going to grab a few cards and just see where we're going. They gave me some of the cards that they wanted, the decks they wanted me to use today. So I'm going to trust that process. Also, I feel like these are going to be connected to past lives. So as I do these readings, we're also clearing, the intention is we're clearing out energy from those past lives. So you may not know the past lives by memory, but you might know them by feeling or by energy. So just stay open and see what you receive. And we'll go from there. Okay, I'm going to take out the 3 decks. These are some of my past life decks that I use. When I do past life readings, I don't always use decks. Just depends what the guides are mentioning. So let's start Cornelian. And I'm just going to open up my energy and see what I'm given. So let me get organized. All right, I'm just going to connect in here and I'll be with you in a second. Okay, so the first thing that I'm getting with this first group, Cornelian, is this idea of waiting. Many of you in this group this collective here for Cornelian have been waiting for news, waiting for information, waiting for guidance, waiting for the next steps. And it's been frustrating for your personality, because you feel like you're doing a lot of work right now. And it feels as though you've gone to a lot of trouble to really try to trust the messages you're getting, your intuition, and you've been bombarded by spirit communication, I'm hearing. So what spirit is saying to you is try and slow down in your energy. Try and move a little bit more slowly. Work on being more in the moment. You are being prepared for something that is where you're going to be getting a lot of revelations. That's what I'm hearing. There's going to be a lot of downloads. There's going to be a lot of insight. But if you're so concerned about what the future is going to bring, you're not going to be in the moment. And you need to be, for this journey you're on now, for this first collective, this Cornelian Group A, you need to be rested, you need to be prepared, you need to be flexible, and you need to be mobile. Welcome in, Peachy. How are you? So we're doing perfect timing, because we are right now, it's just starting the collectives. There's 4 collectives, Peachy, and I'll go over it. The first one, and they're all based on stone. This is connected to Cornelian. Everything will be time stamped later. And we're connecting with the Akashic Records. So your soul blueprint, your field of energy, your spiritual wisdom, nature, your inner guidance, your guides. So I'm pulling cards, but also channeling. So let's see what they're saying. So there is insight that's coming into you. I'm seeing it like trickling in like a waterfall. And you are being prepared. There is a big step there. They're really wanting you to know. But that's tough sometimes, because we are so used to having our way and having things happen in a certain way that we don't, it's like we're fighting with ourselves. We're fighting with ourselves. And it just makes it all the more difficult, because when we're fighting with ourselves, we're fighting with spirit, right? Our higher self. So there is this energy here. Here's the thing. I feel like on some level, this group Cornelian, one of the challenges why it is the way it is because you have some insight on a past life level, because you've been waiting for this experience where all of the circumstances, the terms, everything that's lined up, you've been waiting for this to happen for multiple lifetimes, is what I'm hearing. So there's a pressure on a human level to like make it happen this lifetime. That's a lot of pressure. And I'll let you know, as soon as we have resistance, spirit will tell us to get grounded again. And it will tell us to like hang out in that place that we're in. Don't rush ahead. So, and they're really mentioning to you to come at this with like a childlike wonder, to be fascinated by where you are in your journey right now, to not rush it. You know, if you think about children, they're very much in the moment. It's not until they get quite a bit older that they start worrying about the future. They're in the present. And so that's what they want you to focus on. So we have the garden, which is child. But I also want to tell you, notice this woman is surrounded by spirits. She's surrounded by the fae or fairies. She's surrounded by a loved one in the spirit world, but she's also surrounded by an angel. And here's what we know. When you are opening up your abilities and you're connecting in mediumistically or having spirit communication, part of what makes it effective is that you have no expectations and you're in the moment. So that means that you're very open in your energy field and you are prepared for whatever comes. And I'm hearing, yes, that's so accurate. Wow, I just did my first private reading. Congratulations for someone yesterday. Congratulations. She wanted to connect with her departed loved one. Okay, and I can feel the pressure of the future creeping up. And I'm glad then this is definitely for you because you also chose this. So it sounds like you're really getting the messages you need from spirit. So this idea of knowing you're in a big change, right? But also and that's the double-edged sword of being excited about this, you being a spirit worker, an energy healer, a light worker, a guide. But at the same time, your human is wanting it to happen faster. So there's definitely there's something here that's telling you to pause, to be in the moment. And remember, I think tonight, you know, we're and the moon is very intense right now too, right? So we have a lot of big energy right now. So the good news is you've got some really good energy on your side. First of all, I'm getting this masculine, feminine, you know, this is the moon, but we have the unconscious part of the moon when it's in the dark phase, and then the light part. So you have that energy working with you, which can make us get unharmonized and throw us off our center, just notably. But also, you know, we have the Four of Swords. You know, the Four of Swords is really important because it's telling us to rest. It's telling us to recover it from all the work we've done on ourselves. Good. I'm so glad you're getting chills. And the hard work we've done, the time we've put in, but also we have to learn to let it unfold, to trust the process. And that you're going to get to where this is one of the big messages that was coming through for me today when I was connecting with the guides before I came on. And there's been a lot that's happened in the last 24 hours, which I'll talk to you guys about. But they were saying to me, you just have to absolutely trust the flow. Everything is coming into fruition. All the things that you've been putting your time into, your energy into, your mental awareness into, learning things, like it's all going to pay off. But you do have to let go and surrender, right? Because this is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is like a success card. It is a card of a champion. It's a card of someone who's revered, who's appreciated, someone who is admired. But it comes from the fact that you're balanced, you're in the moment, you're also caring for yourself. But also, you know, we have this wisdom here coming through with the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is really all about education and the process of learning, developing from the apprentice into something that's a little bit more ready to go out into the world. So if you're finding yourself, again, rushing the process, the Hierophant will say, just relax. You've got some more work to do. Let us help you. We can work on this together. Sometimes it's good to have an elder come in and tell you to rest and tell you but the big picture is going to be that I'm hearing that it's a long game. And when I know that many of you get very excited because you're finally finding your inspiration, your purpose, your passion. And at the same time that I'm hearing, like, at the same time, I'm hearing your numbers up. So that is a little bit of like the patterns you had that also kept you out of alignment are also coming forth to be healed. So things to pay attention to. The final part of this reading is very interesting. We definitely have one of the archangels coming through. Again, for me, is very significant because I work with them in the Akashic Records to do healing, as well as all of you can too. Archangel Gabriel is all about communication, trumpeting your vision, heralding the information you're here to do. So that's a very powerful energy. Helping you open up that throat chakra, bring forth wisdom, clarity, and the honesty. That's where Mott is coming in, being honest, being clear. So ask the guides, ask the angels, ask whatever, if you work with goddesses, deities, they will help you on these different points when you're struggling. That's what we do. And just another thing, I don't always mention it on here. I have a membership called Goddess Rising. And so it's a spiritual development membership, but in that we really work on our spirituality. We work on daily things of grounding, connecting, trusting our intuition, but we also work on healing, shadow work, and we develop our spiritual senses. We develop our spiritual abilities and our spirit communication, and we work with goddesses. And these are all the things we're working on together in that space. And if you're interested, I have more information on my page. Now, when we're coming into the final part, there's some caution that's being mentioned here. So these feel to me more connected to past life karma. Remember, we said we were going to be clearing out some of that. So the first thing that's really standing forward is you stepping into this. I can really see this blueprint for many of you in this group, this collective, because we have devotion, spiritual practices, intuitive history. So you're really you've done this before in many lifetimes where you using your intuitive and healing abilities for helping others. And you understand that when people say the veil is thin, the veil doesn't have to be there if you're living in connection with spirit. But this is lifetimes that's come through for you. That's what's coming through, that familiarity, right? But this is what you're clearing out. There are some things that your physical, energetic body is clearing. This happens all the time. And those are some physical things. There's physical here and there's emotional here. Trusting, because we have deceit. So we have a lack of trust in past lives of people hurting us, being taken advantage of. But then we also have some physical things as well. Hello, welcome in. So we also have some physical things that have probably happened to us. Now, I will tell you right now, many of us are carrying some of the physical wounds, literally, of past lives. And these are things, I'm not a physician. I'm on the medical field. This deck is, I'll tell you, it's by Sandra Ann Taylor. This is past life energy. It's a really good one. Very good for the Akashic Records. So I know that this is, again, for those of you who are getting the case study reading with me, this is one of the things that I see that we're going to be working on clearing out, are some of the physical things that we've carried with us from past lives. You would be surprised. So as we're closing this reading for Cornelian, I would say what we need to focus on here for you, my friend, is self-care. Giving yourself credit for how far you've come. Enjoying the journey is what I'm hearing. And take time for yourself. Like, do the fun stuff, right? Do the things that are silly and fun and childlike. Remember, we saw the child in the very beginning too. So these are important pieces. All right. Okay, pile one. Thank you so much. That was a lovely reading. All right. I'm just going to put this up. If you're just joining us, this is what we have for our, this is what we're working on today, right? This is what we're doing. We already did the channeled message. This day we brought through one of the Kemetic goddesses, which is Mott. She's here to help us recognize truth, to not be in denial, and to bring forth those things that we're leaving in the shadows. In my Goddess Rising membership this month coming up, where I'm uploading a class, because I upload a mini class every month. And this month it's shadow work. And part of that is being in living in truth. So right now we're doing the Akashic Records messages. We picked between 4 different piles. We just finished pile 1. Oh, I'm so glad, Christine. That makes me so happy. I'm delighted. I am delighted. That's wonderful. I'm glad that makes sense. So good. All right, friends. So if you picked pile 2, the Golden Healer, this is going to be your reading. Let me just see what they want me to do. The other thing I'm getting with you is fresh energy. Fresh energy. That's what they're saying. It's a time of new starts. It's a time of a second win. It's a time possibly of like new careers for some of you. And there's light, and I'm also hearing there's light at the end of the tunnel, if that makes sense for you, Golden Healer. And again, these readings might apply to you later, my friends. Yay, Amber's here for the Golden Healer. We love that. That I was thinking about you. It's interesting that you said that. I like that. This is one of my favorite crystals for sure. I use it for just that, healing work, and it's a heart. All right, so this is going to be for our group 2, Golden Healer. What do they need to know? Fresh start, new beginning. I'm also hearing that you're anchoring into a new frequency. That's big fancy talk. But so here's what I see that has happened for you energetically, okay? And I'm hearing new beginnings, starting over, fresh start, new beginning. So one of the things that happened to some of you last year, I'm hearing about November, October, I feel like some of you hit burnout, some of you hit exhaustion, and some of you just were wrecked physically. And so you knew you'd have to start changing something. There's something about you, your adrenals, I'm hearing, possibly were out of whack. And then I'm also seeing that there is like, it even affected your memory a little bit, like you felt foggy. I'm not sure if you ever got blood work done, but I am hearing something about that for some of you, pile 2, which is not surprising why you chose the Golden Healer. But I feel as though things are new. Things are new. As we're getting to this new place for you, you budged, you opened up, you said, okay, I'm going to be open and see what happens. And that's when things began to shift for you. What's so great about this pile 2 and the Golden Healer is that there's so much green energy coming into this group and in this collective. And that's where Archangel Raphael comes in, because he is truly the healer. So it's not surprising. So I'm getting these kinds of cards, right? Ride the wave. We already know, of course, here we have dolphins who are energy, they're sonar frequency beings. So they telepathically communicate with one another and the world around them. But also we have all that water, and the water really represents emotional healing. It represents connection, intuition. It represents relationships. But notice how healing that looks, how open. And I really am getting trust yourself. There is even a little person on the top of this dolphin. Gorgeous. So again, you are in a place of trusting more. You've committed yourself to trying this. You're giving yourself, it's like a new lease on life. That's what I'm hearing. Look we have wide open here. So beautiful. Green dress, notice that. So there is a sense of, okay, I'm going to open up. I'm going to see what happens. The way I've been doing it doesn't work as well. I'm going to trust myself. I know, isn't it beautiful? And then I do hear, again, we're going back to October, November when this is really hit at rock bottom. This is also a card for me of a crossroads. So you're making a shift. You're moving into a new direction. That's excellent. But the grass is in a new direction. You're following a new path. And it's with green there. And green, of course, again, is for healing. All right, let's keep going. What do we need to know about the past lives connected to this, please? For this collective. Yes. This makes sense. Ooh. These are all of the archangels that are coming forward who are in this deck are all the ones so far that we're working with in the Akashic Records in the healing modality. I'll start with Archangel Raziel. Inspiration, mysteries, the Akashic Records. So Archangel Raziel helps us really release old soul contracts, helps us really cut cords, helps us have new beginnings, helps us get over old patterns, really severs the old energy that we just had a hard time letting go of. I feel like this, they come to you, and when you're at these stages, and we're not really always aware of them, right? But there's changes. That's part of why things feel a little lighter, or like you got the energy to shift because you had some heavenly help. We'll call it. I don't really believe in heaven necessarily, but you had higher help to shift you. Okay. And why is this? So here's the old patterns. Isolation. These are lifetimes when you did have to do it on your own, that you were trapped in situations that felt very desolate, where you felt like you had to be in charge of all of these different things, but yet you just had no idea, how to ask for help. And so there is you being left alone and being stuck and not feeling the joy. Well, the energy is now shifting. And it's shifting for the better, because now we have the traveler and the wanderer. We have the expansion. We have the adventure. We have I'm going in new places. But also this is connected to, notice, he is on a ship, right, with water. And then we have this as well, being open. So traveling can mean a lot of things. It can mean physical traveling, but it can also mean traveling within your own awareness. That things are shifting for you. Things are shifting here. All right, let's see what else we have for this Golden Healer group. I'm also want to tell you that I'm seeing all these gold coins coming down. Okay, let me take a look at that. So you're moving into another time. I feel like many of you are going to start probably shifting in either your career. You're going to be able to work less, make more money. There's a paradigm shift for this group related to finances. It's a new start. Work more, work less, make more is what I'm hearing. And again, we have the Fool card coming in, leaving behind the Five of Pentacles and the King of Cups in reverse. So, and then what started that was, it is Zach. Amazing. Yes, let's take the gold coins, eat it up, Zach. I love it for you. Here it is again, the validation, right? So take that as a symbol, that is your symbol. That's very specific, friend. So let me explain to you the journey of what happened for all you guys who are in the Golden Healer pile 2, which is probably Zach and also Amber at least. But here's the evolution of you as a soul. And because like I said, on a spirit level, we are living lives at the same time. It's so hard to imagine it, but we're linked in energy. Okay. And so we don't know every single life. It's not relevant to what we're living. It would make it non-consequential if we did everything at the same time. But what I am telling you is that Seven of Wands here is what's happening right now for you in this life today. You are putting up the boundary. You're saying no more. I am going to stop. I'm going to get off the grind of what I've been doing. And I'm going to come back to my own energy, and I'm going to trust my instincts. I'm going to stop playing small. I'm also going to really trust my feelings, because before you had King of Cups in reverse. That's a pretty That is things like emotional distress that could even be in past lives, probably having alcohol issues and things of that nature, being sad, being desolate, being alone, having issues with money. But now we're in a new life. We're in a new time frame right now, which again, for those of you who might have missed that, this timeline started in November, the shift. Again, we're looking at past lives. We're looking at the Akashic Records. We're looking at soul blueprint. This is what we're doing in this reading. And you're on a new journey with the Fool card here. And you're getting this help from the spirit world. So you are getting help from the archangels, if you call on them, your guides, your ancestors. Everyone is working for you in concert to get to where you want to go. Okay, I can feel that. So also I'm hearing this. One thing I want to tell you guys, please make sure that you are, and again, I'm not a doctor. I have to be careful and say that, but make sure that you're staying hydrated, and that you're checking on like your vitamin levels, vitamin C, vitamin D. You're really you're literally resetting your system. It's hard to imagine because it's happening energetically, and can we prove that by science? Probably if we really got into some nitty gritty, but who has time for that? So just trust your process. Okay. That was for pile 2. Thank you so much, pile 2. Super excited. I think now, if memory serves, we're moving on to pile 3, Adventurine. Is that right, friends? I think that's right, because I think Labradorite is last. Okay, this is pile 3. Who's with me? All right, let me tune in pile 3 and just see what I'm getting for you. Again, I am going to just clear the energy. That was a big one. So let me do a little incense. Everybody keep breathing. For pile 3. Pile 3 is working a lot on 5th chakra. 5th chakra is communication. 5th chakra is being a channel, learning to channel. Last winter really was a new level of intensified. Yes, for Christy. Psychic divine power flooding in for me, and my ability is amazing. I love that so much. Also, I want to let you guys know, I have a school called the Sacred Seer School. It's an online spiritual development school and a supportive community. Tomorrow night on my platform, I'm teaching a free little pop-up workshop on using tarot as divination. So if you wanted to come, there is a link on my page that says join my free community. Once you join that, you'll be opened up and then you'll be able to come. We go live on the platform. It has its own, it has its own website. So anyway, I digress. I wanted to do that. Okay, pile 3. Yes, Christine, let me know. If you ever run into any snafus, just let me know. Okay, pile 3, here we go. Let me tap in. Right away, they're having me. Oh, I love this deck so much. It's just so yummy. We are doing, let me see if I can find the title of this thing. Yes, this is the Sacred Oracle deck. Sorry, Sacred Forest. This is the Denise Lynn, the Sacred Forest deck. We used this last week. Looking forward to going back to listen to pile 2. Yes, absolutely. I know. Shouting 5. I get it. I'm here for it. Pile 3, Adventurine. This is your reading. Again, it's all going to be time-stamped. If you have to zip out, don't worry. I'll be posting it probably by the end of the day today. So this is pile 3, who also picked Adventurine. Okay, let's see what the message is for you for the Akashic Records. Ooh, okay, this is going to be more out of the box. This is, some of you are starting to work with nature spirits, and I'll say, and the Fae. And there's a reason for that, so stick with me. I'm moving some decks around. They're leading me to what they want me to do. Okay. Yep. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I know. Thank you. Hold tight, guys. Hold tight. I got it in here. I got to always know where they're leading me with my decks. I've got, my share of them around. So hang on a second. Okay. Yep. All right. Thank you. All right. So some of you are starting to work with the Fae, and that is essentially nature spirits, fairies. And how does that relate to us? If this is something that may be new to you, well, first thing is you're probably going to be more drawn to being outside, right? Zach's got his 3-leaf clover on him. So, and if you resonate with a couple of these, take it. This is what, this is the Akashic Records talking. So here's what I want to say about this group. If you've been more drawn to being outside in nature, that's your guides telling you you are meant to be developing your abilities outside in a certain degree. So let me explain to you. If you've been trying to increase your psychic abilities and open up to spirit and feel more and to be able to really connect more, being outside is one of the best places you can do it. And what you can do, and this is something that I teach in my school, but is spend time walking in nature where there's not a lot of people. Open up your energy field and just begin to observe what you're picking up on. And I want you to take a little journal with you, and I want you to believe everything that you're, just suspend judgment for a while and validate everything you're feeling, sensing, hearing, and experiencing. So if you get a little brush, or if you see something in your mind's eye, or if you hear something that's out of the ordinary, just say, what if? It could be true. When we This is how fairies are. This is how the Fae is. They don't mess around. So first thing we have is pine spirit, purification. Then we have bluebell fairy, gratitude. Stick with me. And then we also have moonlight enchantment. I'll tell you something. Some of the most extraordinary experiences I've had with the spirit world have been outside. And when I just open myself up to the possibilities that it could be true, I have talked to tree spirits. I have talked to wind spirits. Of course, I've talked to fairies. I've talked to gnomes. I've talked to all different kinds of tree spirits. I've talked to bees. I've talked to the Fae who live in a tree up the road from me, and I just know it to be so. I can feel it, sense it, know it. I'm not looking for it. I'm just being open. Also, pile 3, there's something here coming in that if you want to see, okay, stick with me. So every house that you live in, every place you live, hang on a second, Jennifer. Every place you live, there's a guardian spirit. There's a guardian spirit over the land that your property's on. There are nature spirits that are connected to every piece of property and land. And so what I would recommend you do is especially with nature spirits, you want to bring something to give back. So for example, when I go to my tree that I call my fairy tree, just up the street from my house, I always bring them hazelnuts because my husband gets big boxes of them because his company, they happen to have also hazelnut groves. Christy says, I was just up driving through mountain today. I've always been open to fairies. We even have a fairy garden in the wash outside of town. Amazing. So this is definitely one also for you. So the main thing is keeping open and bringing things to share with them and giving gratitude. But your life can be enhanced so beautifully if you're open to it. If you're an outside nature person, right? And you can live in harmony with them and your life can be so enriched. That's really what I'm getting. And again, I'm pulling on, here we go, Beltane, the fairies. We also have the bees that are coming through. So it's kind of a big thing. Are goblins real? I haven't met any. There's a lot of different spirits out there, and there's ones that people consider to be probably more negative, some more neutral, and some are more positive, but they're all manner of things. And my biggest advice, if you're not sure, is stay open, but you just keep your wits about you, just like you do with people. There's way worse people than there are spirits. Okay, here we go. It's one of the reasons I wish that people could come in person with me to train with me more in person. So something, oh, you got the tree. So you got Rowan, which means tree in Celtic. There is no need to fear, dear one. Protected you are, and protected you will always be. Ah, so notice there's like little fairies right here, or little gnomes, and in the tree. And here's the thing. I live in Portland, Oregon. Yes, I sure do. Where do you live? So there's definitely, I'm getting another message about Akashic Records. I'll look at that in just 1 second, Christine, if you respond. So one thing I'm really hearing is that there's something for you, pile 3, about freedom, about being open. And, oh, you're in Sacramento. That's amazing. My husband lived in Sacramento. He went to UC Davis. Amazing. So there's something here about you, pile 3, being very open to all possibilities. And again, that's why they want you to connect with outside. It's going to be bringing you back to a part of yourself you've been more disconnected from. Oh, wow. You've got the sun god coming in here. Come now, expand into the skies, into the shadows below. That's wonderful. This is very interesting because I've been feeling a lot and thinking, I just want to be outside. Ooh, I attribute it to being nice outside, but it felt like something more. Absolutely, Lee. So you can validate that. And the reason is, Lee, nature is one of our best teachers. And I feel like I'm going to do a retreat sometime in Portland. I'll keep you guys posted or nearby here, because I'd like to take people outside and connect with nature and nature spirits, as well as looking at historical locations from a mediumship perspective and picking up on energy. Let me read Lee's comment. I wasn't here when we picked piles. That's okay. But when I saw the crystal, something pinged in me and I knew this was my pile. Girl, it's your pile. It's pile number 3, just so you know, friend. And you have the Adventurine. This is pile 3 today. And it's interesting, Lee, because we're doing 4 piles today. Usually I do 3, but my spirit guides were like, no, you need to do 4. I'm so glad you're here. So here's the other thing I want to mention. Let's go back to what we got initially with the friends. Let's go back to what we got with our beautiful Egyptian goddess, right? Mot, or Kemetic. She is also she's all about the truth. What is the truth? The truth is illumination. The truth is bringing light to things that have been hidden. Also, you are in this way opening up even more as you're going and being connected to go outside to shed light. Then we have the sun god. Again, another one, right? So this is just beautiful. Let's keep going. I'm going to pull in tarot now. Again, pile 3. And we're going to see what we have. Again, we're looking in the Akashic Records, Lee, just so you know. We do Akashic Records reading usually every week, because that's what everybody votes on that they like. Amongst other readings, we work with goddesses, and then we do a lot of self-reflection tarot around here and healing and shadow work. So, okay, let's see. What are we doing? I'm always open to relationship readings if people are interested. I do love those too. Okay, here's what we're getting. This is what I want to say for pile 3. One of the reasons this is coming up is because you're not trusting your intuition enough. And here's what we have here. And there's a reason for that. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the High Priestess. And this is past life related now. Okay. So here's what I want to say. There's ways that in your 3rd chakra, your power center, pile 3, where you had to shut down your intuition because your light would have been too much. Your light, your power, your clarity. People that don't want to clarify things. People that want to control. People that want to not take the mask off. They always feel uncomfortable with psychic people, always intuitive people. It happens all the time. It doesn't matter if you're what you identify with gender wise. If you're psychic and you're around people that are trying to hide, they're going to feel uncomfortable and project around you. And that's one thing I'm getting here from this past life. There's a fear here, friends, that we're releasing. We'll start to just releasing it now. Yep, the Empress is here. Wow, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so here's what I'm getting the past life messages is that you're stepping more into your power, moving past the limitations of your third chakra. Third chakra, I'm just getting confirmation buzzing in my ear. Thank you. So you're stepping into power. Why it's so great being connected to nature and is because that's going to get you flowing more and synthesize more with all the deliciousness of nature spirits. It makes you validate and trust what you're getting more. I'm also really hearing when you go outside and connect, you want to go in places where there's not a lot of people too, because sometimes spirits won't come out as much. Or make themselves as known when there's a lot of population. So something to think about. So here's what I'm getting. One of the reasons that it's so important, pile 3 for you is because you're stepping in. Again, we have the Empress here. These are very strong divine feminine cards. Hey, Yacha. These are all spirit-led readings. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. And I always say, I might at some point do paid readings, but right now these are just a gift. For now, I just tell everybody I do private readings, all the links, but I'm glad you're here. This is pile 3. So happy you're here. For all of you who are new, I'm so glad you're here. I'm here every single Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can count on that. And then make sure you subscribe because we vote on the different types of readings. I'm always open to the other ones too. And then if you do want to book a reading, I have a lot of different reading choices. I'll talk about that in a second. So we'll continue, but thank you. So here's what we're stepping into, pile 3. There's so much power. Doesn't matter what gender you are. You're bringing forth 2 of the icons of the titans of the divine feminine in this reading, pile 3. You have the High Priestess with the Empress. There's nothing stronger with the divine feminine, save maybe the queens. But this is you really stepping into that. This is you stepping into alignment. This is big. I'm like really feeling this one a lot in my physical body for you. That's why they want you outside so much. And part of that is too, is there's something about being like expanding and having free range, right? Because look, they want you to experiment. Page of Pentacles. This is a big one for you. And it is because you're probably breaking out and doing something totally new and you're investigating and getting curious. You might even end up doing something you never expected as far as career goes. You might go totally in a different direction. That makes sense to you? I love that, Christy. And you guys make sure you stay till the end because I always do a giveaway at the end. This is really powerful. This is a whole combination, pile 3, that is making me like I can't wait to see what happens for you. Okay, let me see what's next. We're going to just pull one more card for the final card for pile 3. Then we're going to move on to pile 4. Right there, divine feminine. This is what it's about. Especially with all the changes going on for me. Amazing, especially career. Wow, I'm so happy. Take it. Here's what's so good, guys. Remember, we just talked about with this group, it's again, connected with nature, being outside, all the things. Look at, we've got nectar. Nectar is what? That's the Empress. That's divine feminine. That is aligned right here. Fantastic energy. So powerful, you guys. And also this, even though this is a rose, which is very significant to the divine feminine and, the Magdalene frequency, just look that up. This is also about your third eye. Yes, that's owls. I'll show you in a sec. It is. I've got 2 owls. Owls are really significant, right, for many of us. This is an owl here. And then I have another one up here. Let me go this way. Yes, it's the same artist. Yakna. Fun, right? So that's pile 3. What a powerful transmission, you guys. Just Powerful. I felt that one really strongly. And this resonates, especially stepping into power. Yes, a flaming sword in the middle of my vision board. Yes, I'm getting the chills for you. I'm ready to say the least. I'm getting the chills for you, Lee. I honestly am. Okay, Yakna, I'm glad I noticed that. They're significant. I'm so glad. We love the owls. We love it. I'm so glad. We love the owls. That's your symbol. I'm glad you're here. I'm so glad to meet you guys. And if you have any questions, so just a little about me if you're new. My name is Carrie. And yeah, I'm a psychic medium. So I so excited. I love being on YouTube. YouTube is a newer platform for me, and I'm absolutely in love. I'm absolutely in love with YouTube. I love all the people I'm meeting here, and I love connecting. I like being able to do my in-depth work because I do, I do, of course, tarot readings of all types of readings, career, love, manifestation, healing, a Reiki master. And I work in the Akashic Records and with goddesses. So I do all that kind of stuff, which I love. So I'm glad you're here. Okay, guys. Okay, Yakna says, can you explain a little bit more about them as to how working with them feels like? Are you talking about the goddesses? Let me know, and I'd love to answer that question. I know that's not what the reading, that's okay. Absolutely. I'm also here to talk and share and educate. So I'm happy to talk about it. Oh, the owls. Okay. So that's a great point. Let me tell you, owls are they're symbols. So every really thing that we find in nature is a symbol, and especially birds. Birds are messengers. And even further, owls are very spiritual wisdom and spiritual communicators. So usually, and not if it's not a connection for someone and not paying attention, that's fine. But owls and crows are messengers, but they're also there to sort of align you. 7-Eleven, love it. I love that number combination. Those owls and crows and also some birds for people. A lot of people who have loved ones in the spirit world really resonate with birds, of all kinds. So that's what they are. And I love owls. That's one of the symbols of my school. So I have a school, an online school for spiritual development called the Sacred Seer School. And the owl is the symbol. So I love it. It's special. Okay, guys, just quickly, I want to tell you one quick thing, and then we're going to get into the last reading. I like to tell people kind of what I'm doing a little bit. This is where we are in our readings. Every week, we do about 3 different types of readings, and the longest ones are probably the Akashic Records, which is where we are. Next, we're going to do in a channeled messages from the ancestors. Sometimes we bring things through. I'm so glad 7-Eleven and owls. Perfect. I'm so happy to hear you say that. And then I always do a giveaway if you stay till the end. And then I'd love to have you guys come and subscribe and make sure you sign for notifications. I'm loving YouTube. I'm so excited to be here and meeting all of you. It's really super special to me. It's funny. I'm on TikTok a lot. I'm on Instagram, but there's just nothing for me like YouTube. So it's very special. Okay. I want to also let you guys know that I'm a teacher. As I said, I have a school as well. And I am teaching, if you're interested in developing your intuitive abilities, but also you want to learn tarot in an intuitive way, I'm teaching a 12-week class starting next month. So there's a link in my profile about it. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Christine. Oh, thank you. Well, it means a lot to me. I mean, I'm definitely a spiritual teacher. That's my background. I am a reader. Reading is one of my favorite things to do. But the other thing is to really help you guys on your spiritual path. Part of it is because I've been on my path for so long, and I remember being so isolated. And so I want people to feel really confident and good and that everything's going to be okay, because it gets kind of hard sometimes. It's not an easy thing, right? It really isn't. Okay, I'm going to bring up, this is quickly the class. I was going to tell you guys about them. We're going to get on to pile 4 and I'll answer all your questions. So this is my intuitive tarot class. I'm so excited about it. So I teach mediumship. I teach psychic development. I teach how to work in the Akashic Records, and I teach how to channel and do card readings, everything, right? But this one's going to be great. It's starting on May 22nd. It's going to be on Thursdays and for 12 weeks. It's going to be very special. You're going to get really intimately connected to the tarot, but also to your intuition and your psychic abilities. All right, let's get it. Let me get up here and we will continue. Pile 3, how are we feeling? I'm going to see, pile 4. Pile 4, one of my favorite stones, the labradorite. Who doesn't love a labradorite? I am feeling very pink. So I'm going to grab the rose, whether you're masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. I'm feeling really connected here. I'm seeing we're going to bring in the rose council. So we're going to grab that. Let me see where else they're taking me. Ooh. Okay. Let's see. They're telling me. Oh, okay. Hang on. It's coming. It's on full. Oh, okay. I love when they're like, no, do that. No, do that. Hang on. Stick with me, guys. This is what they do. Kind of tell me where we're going. Okay. Yes, yes. Where are we headed? Oh, okay. That's funny. Well, this is definitely a divine feminine kind of a deck, guys. This is divine feminine all the way. So however you relate is perfect, whatever that is. And so we're going to do the Rebecca Campbell Rose deck. So let's see where they're taking us on this journey, friends. Pile 4, remember, all these are timeless, as you guys probably are familiar with on YouTube. And, okay. All right. They like that one too. Oh, that's such a pretty deck. So let's see what we get. Pile 4, because some of these might apply. Some of these messages may be for all of these could be for one person too. You know, for multiple readings can be for you. Let's just see where they're taking me. Oh. All right, so we're starting with the past life in this one, guys. I wasn't expecting that. So they're having me bring out all my rose quartz. You know, they're like, bring out the tower and come in. Okay, here we go, friends. Are you guys ready? Well, first of all, I'm going to start with the past lives because that's what they're showing me first. Ooh, and I'm getting the chills all through my body. So, and also remember, whether you're masculine or feminine, you've had lives in both bodies and everything in between. That's not, on a soul level, there is no gender. So you can be both, multiple things, right? And so here's what I'm getting. I'm really getting a connection with this pile 4 of different past lives where you've been in a feminine body. That's what I'm getting. And I'm getting images of very, very feminine outfit. Well, this is probably either in England or somewhere in Western Europe. And I'm seeing these images of very, beautiful dresses. This is probably the 1700s. Yeah, this is the 1700s. And I'm seeing a beautiful blue silk dress. And in this image, this can be an archetype that represents many, because a lot of you have similar patterns that you go through that you're working on. So take it if it resonates. But in this one in particular, you were a very, what I call precocious or very intelligent female. I'm seeing you being about 17 at the time. This reminds me a lot of like Bridgerton, Sense and Sensibility, all those sort of archetypal, very stereotypical females that didn't have a lot of power or expression. That's what I'm getting. I am also hearing a name on this one. Again, it could be, it's an archetype. The name is Bridget. I did hear that name. We keep going in here. So it looks to me in this past life I'm getting, this is kind of the archetype, is that you felt in that lifetime very not anchored, not grounded, weightless, as though you didn't feel as though you had a lot of power. You had a lot of ability to make your own choices. You felt as though you were like with the wind. You felt untethered to life. And I think that many of you had this lifetime similarly before, feeling this way. That's the main thing. How did I feel? How did it affect me? And so what it did in this lifetime, because you didn't feel anchored, because you didn't feel grounded, you felt a lot of anxiety. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay, thank you. My guides are just talking to me about it. So it made so here's how this is tracking for you today, pile 4. There's anxiety if you don't feel like there are plans made, if you don't feel like you know what details are happening in any instance. This could be to do with work. This can be relationships. This can be commitments. Holy smokes. This is a big one, you guys. Oof. I'll be right there. I'm just channeling this. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let me tell you how this is coming in. So I think this is a type of lifetime that many of you have had, and that is where you felt powerless, where you did not feel as though you had any reason to or drive because everybody told you what you were supposed to do. So you felt like you were flitting away. This is what triggers you now. You get anxious if you don't feel grounded. You have pressure, anxiety, worry if you don't feel like you have a plan. And so there's something very specific about this, and it feels and there's a big thing about you hearing yourself, being able to hear yourself, being able to hear your own intuition, being able to take information as know what direction you're going in. So you have a big thing about learning to trust spirit and your intuitive voice. You have 3 of Pentacles in the Page of Wands in reverse. 3 of Pentacles is working with others, building something, structure, right? Something positive in that way. And so the complexity of this is what makes it interesting is that you want the connection with your guides or your intuition and also with the things that you're building in your life, but you don't trust it because you didn't know how to really trust yourself. So you don't trust your own inspiration. You don't trust your own feelings. You don't trust when spirit moves through you. So here's what they're really saying that needs to happen. And then in turn, because of that, you get resistant and stuck, and you feel as though you're spinning your wheels. So it's a whole cycle that occurs for some of you. Okay. Here, yeah. And then you feel disconnected from the answer, right? We have key on trees. Look how far up that elephant is and has the key, but has to go all the way down there. Just feels disconnected. We have the sea witch, which again does not feel super connected, feels as though there's a sense of like floating and not being grounded. And then also you would think that this is one of the happiest cards in the deck. No rain today. But the only thing for me, it's almost like if somebody grew up in a wealthy family, but they had no power to make choices of their own, even though everything seemed like it should be fine, they would feel probably on some level pretty miserable. And it's because they weren't in charge of their own faculties, their own decision making. That's pretty horrible, actually. So when you're a kept person, you have no independence. So the whole way we're talking about this unlocking, this shifting, and remember before we were talking about that birds are messengers, right? Look what we have, right? We have the perfect key, spirituality, and the symbol of the key. The key is your path opening up and then listening to your higher self, your intuition. What's going to make you happiest is what? Listening to your intuition, learning to accompany and find your own inner voice, taking charge of your own life, pile 4. Okay. It's a process. Believe me, it is a process. Yes. And so this is kind of like rebirthing yourself. You have a lot of support in the spirit world, and this is going to lead perfectly into the ancestor message when we're done here. But here's what we have. We have, first of all, the child within. So a lot of this is going to be trust, that you're going to need to learn to trust you, and your inner child is going to need to learn to trust you. Remember, that's a big part of this. Stay tuned, because I'm going to be creating right now this whole, like, it's sort of like a few meditations and then journal prompts, and like something you can do over like a 25-day period or so to heal the inner child. That's coming soon. Stay tuned. But this is the thing, is what the part of you that doesn't feel matured, even though it's not from this lifetime per se, it still sits with some of you. So we have to learn to talk to our inner child, to remind her or him that they're safe and it's okay that they have an opinion and make decisions. Okay. Then we have this, listen to this: sureness of soil, unseen help, support, community, held. That's all you wanted, is to feel stable, to feel cared for on a spirit level, because you felt so out of control and not liberated. And then we have the grandmother. So this is definitely the ancestor help, right? Remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings, right? So we trust that we have our ancestors watching out for us. And then finally, we have, you have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. It's the final card. That's so beautiful. So that's really just saying you absolutely deserve to have the life that you desire. And sometimes what we need to do to prepare for that is to clear out some of these old wounds. And even if we don't necessarily know, where do they originate from? How do they work? You know, I can definitely work with you to teach you more about how to access your own records. I'm going to teach a class in May about it, and I also teach a certification on it. But the main thing is also saying, where am I today, and what do I need, and how do I heal? And doing that in a simplistic, grounded way. Okay, pile 4, that was it. What a gorgeous, amazing collective from the Akashic Records. Just extraordinary. Okay, we're going to shift into our ancestor readings. Let me tell you guys about this if you're new, and I'll explain. And then be sure to stay to the end, because there's going to be one lucky winner. I give away, lately I've been giving away little tarot decks. That's what I have for now. Soon that might change to something else, but that's what we're doing for now. And I usually do that based on a numbered system. So stick around, especially because there's not too many of you here today. So I'm going to bring forth a channeled message from ancestors. Okay, let's see what they have. I feel like today, sometimes I do mediumship and I bring one spirit through. Today, I'm going to bring through a collective of spirits, okay? And I feel like we're talking about grandparents primarily. Many of you have not been close to your grandparents. Oh, it resonates with you? I'm so glad, Elizabeth. So Elizabeth said, this past life totally resonated with me. Definitely themes I've had to work on this. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that makes sense. And sometimes those things like those past lives can resonate later as well. Whew. All right. So today we're really getting a message. Sometimes I bring through a specific spirit, and then sometimes I bring through a collective. And today is going to be a collective. And I think we're talking to grandparents. As I mentioned, we're talking about grandparents on both sides. So we are talking about that. So if you have grandparents in the spirit world, this might be for you. Okay. And again, I'm bringing through, usually we can get a collective message from them. So let's see what they have to say. I'm going to shuffle cards. Actually, they want me to change my deck, so hang on a second. They just have their opinions, and they know what they like, especially grandparents. They're the most, they have the most, clear opinions about what, what's important to them. So let me find the deck they want. Hold tight, everybody. I might have that one. That's my channeling deck for ancestors, so hang on. I got a couple things going. Just a minute. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. All the ancestors, love MJ Cullinan's decks. I just love her. She the one who made the Crow Tarot. All right. So we're going to use this one for today. This is a beautiful one called The Raven's Dream. Oh, yes, of course. And they like this one too. Okay. So we're going to get the message from the end. Your grandparents are departed. Never really got to know them too well, especially dad's side. Oh, because everyone's from Japan. Oh, bless. Yeah. So let's bring them through. So we're going to use 2 of the Ancestor decks. That's the way I usually, if I'm channeling. Now, I'm a medium and I teach mediumship. And so usually I can tap in. You don't necessarily need to tap in them, but I like to use them because they like bringing through symbols. They enjoy that. It's part of the fun for them, because then sometimes people have significance with symbols. Okay. So they like the ravens. So let's just ask our loved ones, our grandparents on both sides, if they're open to come through, send us a message. If some of them maybe in real life wouldn't have been open to that. You have a raven's nest right outside of your apartment. I love that. I love that. I love that you do. Okay, so let's see what we got, friends. Let's see what they want. So I'm really getting a sense of, well, definitely some of you have had, which is not uncommon, some of you have had grandparents, grandfathers that passed of heart attacks. I am getting that. I could feel that. It's a couple of you. Heart-related issues. Also, I'm getting, there's a couple of them here. So I get one of them, I think may have had sepsis. They do keep an eye out. I love that. So one of your grandparents might have had sepsis. So I'm seeing like heart condition, sepsis. We've got a few different things going on. So let's just see what their messages are. There's one grandfather who has a very good sense of humor who's coming through. And I also feel like he might have had maybe either we had a problem with our leg, we had problems walking. So we were your grandpa had sepsis. Okay. Oh, my blessings. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. And would you understand someone had a grandparent that maybe either had had a really hard time walking? This could be because of amputee, possibly from being diagnosed or losing part of a leg, I'm getting. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see what the messages are from the grandparents in general. 3 of Pentacles coming through, 5 Page of Wands, the Lover's card, and then the 5 of Wands. So your grandpa had issues with circulation in the legs, and grandpa was amputated. Okay. I'm so glad they're coming through. Diabetes, they're all coming through. I'm so happy. Good. Well, I love the grandparents. I love them. So good. So they're all kind of showing up in a group. I'm totally okay with that. So not all mediums do that way. I don't mind. I like it. Okay, good. Let's keep going and see what else is coming through. So I have one grandmother I feel like was quite short, about 5'1". I'm just giving you something. She's mentioning something to me about cherry blossoms and seeing cherry blossoms. I feel as though possibly this could be your grandmother, Christine. She does look like she's Japanese. And she is talking about, wow. Do you remember I just said cherry blossoms? Look. I just pulled that out. Oh, these spirits are always getting me. These decks with her, I know. I love how they're all here too. So here's kind of what they're getting, all the ancestors. Yes, your grandpa was very proud of her trees in her garden. The blossoms were wow. So here's what I'm getting from a lot of these collective grandparents. They just really want you to know they understand how hard you're working and how important it is for you to validate. Michael, oh my gosh, hang out for a minute because I got your email and haven't gotten back to you. How are you? I loved your cards. Welcome. So I really have to tell you guys, your loved ones in the spirit world are really talking about, they know you're going through some difficulties and change. That card screams to you. I know. I know. This whole deck is pretty powerful, I'll tell you. So here's the other thing they're mentioning to me. They're really talking about how they know that many of you have been through some really tough times and that sometimes you second guess what you're doing. They're like saying it's not uncommon to second guess what you're doing. And they really want you to know, they're talking about riding the ride. And one of these grandmothers is talking about, you know, when you'd go on like a roller coaster or even any kind of ride at an amusement park and you'd be so terrified, but think about how much fun you had going. And she's really saying how that's really what this is about, that it's about you trusting the journey. Okay, good, Michael, please do. I'm almost done with this portion. So they're talking about you really trusting the journey and that you are being prepared for something. They really want you to know that they're here for you and they are, they know that you're making big decisions because we have the Justice card here. We have the Ace of Swords, new ideas, right? There's the owl again. But then we also have the Lover's card, right? So the Lover's card is all about a decision, right? It's all about breaking away from where you've been and going further, developing, moving forward. So there's so many things. And these grandparents are really saying, trust yourselves, you know, that this is the time when you should really be enjoying yourself and not worrying about what's coming. Yeah. They're also telling you not to worry about making money. Not always easy, right? Wow. And they're really saying you are learning how to be the tears of confirmation from spirit washed over me, breaking away from old world ways and expectations. Absolutely. I totally get it. And we see that here with the Queen of Wands is essentially the breakaway. That's the new ways. That's inspiration, direction. That is, you know, the Queen of Wands is such a magnetic energy. She is a propeller forward. She is an inspiration. She is a manifester. She's just such a strong, beautiful energy. And as a leader, I hope so, because I have no clue where things are going to free. I know. I was just getting ready to mention money when you said that. Oh, well, you can take that as your message. Here's the thing. When you're getting the Queen of Wands with the Hierophant, it means you're learning something, And also I heard someone today, a tarot reader, really resonated with him. He said he feels like the Hierophant is also your ancestors. It's also all the knowledge that came before you, everything that they've learned, they're sharing with you. And I feel like I really love that interpretation of the Hierophant, because I feel as though that is absolutely what you were all doing here, is we are our ancestors. That's why you make sure you have your ancestor, you know, you set a little space up for your ancestors to thank them, because they are going to absolutely help you in so many ways in your life, behind the scenes. And it's like my friend Keisha says, and also my friend, a lot of people I know that venerate their ancestors. Your ancestors will go free to help you and go to bat for you like no one else. I'm finally taking a hold of my finances. That's okay. After 40 years, a new job is a dream come true in the making. Yes, behind the scenes, it's been a blessing. I'm so happy for you. See, you're all doing, so you're getting all of that validation that that's where you're headed. Let's see if there's any other messages coming through from them. Beautiful way to end this reading. Very strong. This is amazing. Here's why. You got the Eight of Wands, which is rapid, quick movement, change happening very positively and very quickly. And it shows that you're releasing. The Nine of Swords, that's fear. That's repetitive fear. It's repetitive karmic cycles. It's being stuck in your head, running the same through over and over, but it's in release. It's in the reverse. So it shows that you're releasing it. And it's happening quickly. So this is a card of transmutation next to the air sign that just keeps looping over and over again. So you're finally moving out of that. Amazing. What a group of beautiful readings today. Oh my goodness. I will say to you guys that stay tuned on the channel, because I think for a little while I'm going to have certain readings that just my YouTube folks can purchase with me. I also do recorded readings if it's a budget thing for you. If you want me to look at something specific, and I can do a recorded reading and send it to you. Love doing those. Just did one of those last night. And so keeping that all in mind if you want me to kind of have my eyes on your energy. Also, let's say I have some special guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. One of my dear friends, who's also a medium, is coming here. I think we're coming in 2 weeks. She'll be coming, and I think I'm going to do first my own show beforehand, and then after my show, she's going to come on, and we're going to talk about channeling, all the different ways that you can channel. If you're not already a part of my school, it's a free to join. The links are below on the page here. And I'm going to be doing a free pop-up class on my school platform. It has its own app. It's called Mighty Networks. The app is called Mighty Networks. My school is called the Sacred Seer School. You can join for free and then come in, and we're going to be doing how to enhance your intuitive abilities connecting with tarot. It's going to be amazing. And if you have any questions, let me know. So here's what we're going to do, friends. Remember, every week, and I have to send Christine hers, we pick something in the pile for some. I know what I'm going to pick. This is a good one. All right. So if you haven't already participated, go ahead and put if you want to be, thank you, Christy. If you want to be part of the contest, I should say the giveaway, just put your name in the chat if you haven't won it yet. And then I will put your name in here and we'll pick from it. And please feel free, if you haven't won yet, I'd love to get you on the list, and then I'll pick and we're going to be off. Little surprise from me. And Christine. And then Michael, if you're still, okay, Christine, Amber, wonderful. Let me get these. Christine, Amber, Lee, hooray. Okay, so glad you guys are here. And then whoever wins, the fun part is then I will send you this. If you just email me, my email is in the link in my profile. And then I'll be sending this off to you probably the beginning of next week, because I still have one for last week too. Okay. All right. Anybody else want to participate? Just put your name in there. Don't be shy. Okay. Wonderful. All right. Let me just close these up and we'll do a blind pick. Okay. So we have 3 names. Fantastic. Okay. Let me see. All right, Spirit. What do we have? Let's roll this around a little and see who's coming forward. All right. You ready? Christine. Okay. Congratulations, Christine. Make sure you guys come back, because I do this every single week. Christine, you have won the Spirit Song Tarot deck. This is so special. I have the larger one too. It's the artwork is so pretty. It's a great companion deck. It's got wonderful imagery on it. So if you can do me a favor, just email me your address, and I'll be sending this off to you in the mail next week. All right. So let me just quickly say, Michael, are you still here? Yay. I know. I love them. That's a really pretty deck. It's a very, very pretty deck. Michael, it's so good to see you. I want to say, Michael, I love, before you guys all go, Michael, I love the cards that you made. They're so wonderful. Such a nice, special thing you did. Yay. So it's so good to see you, Michael. And I just want to thank everyone for being here today. It really means the world to me. And it's so funny because, like, you know, on TikTok, I have quite a few followers, and I am very appreciative of it. I met a lot of people here from that. But one of the things I'll say is that something about, like I said before, YouTube is so special to me. So I'm very grateful for you all being here. And I will look forward to seeing you all next week. I will be uploading videos. Don't you worry. And make sure if you subscribe, I like to do polls. So you can tell me what kind of videos you like me to do, because I can also do educational ones and I do readings. I do all kinds of things. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. It means the world to me that you hung out. Yay, we got a vibe. It's a vibe. It's like a place. This is a happening. It's the place to be on a Friday afternoon. And it means so much to me. This is like, I'm now completed a month. Thank you so much. So I've now completed a month of doing these every Friday at 3, and I absolutely love it. I love it. I'm cherishing it. So I'll see you guys all next week. And then Christine is going to send me her email address. And if you want, join my school. Remember, everybody join my school. The link's in my profile. It's called the Sacred Seer School. The link is on my page. And if you join, you request to join, I approve you. And then you have to it's really easy. You upload, it's a free app, and you can come, and I do stuff in the school there. You get to meet people and my students I've trained to do readings, all kinds of things. All right, everybody, much love. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Happy Taurus season. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.